Patrice Meadows. I am the wife of Apostle Brian Meadows, mother of one amazing daughter. I'm a pastor. I am an educator and school founder of Atlanta Smart Academy. I'm very excited to be sharing a little bit about myself. And I was born and raised in Maryland, and I went to a performing arts high school while I was there. Once I graduated, I went to NC State for undergrad. Go Wolfpack. And from there, after graduation, I joined an incredible movement called Teach for America. I was sent to Atlanta, Georgia. I was a high school chemistry teacher. From my very first day in the classroom, I fell in love with teaching and education in general, and I've been an educator ever since. I've taught everywhere from 5th grade all the way up through 12th grade. And I'm very, very excited about this next venture, this next journey that I'm on to open Atlanta Smart Academy, a 5th through 8th grade charter middle school located in Southwest Atlanta, serving students all over Georgia with the mission to use science, math, and the arts to build innovative solutionists. There are days where I just ask myself, why am I doing this? This is extremely difficult. I knew that it wouldn't be easy, but I don't think I really had an understanding of just how difficult it would be. And this goes along with starting a church, starting a ministry from the ground up. My husband and I did that in 2012, so we celebrate 7 years in just a couple weeks. So I think back to that process where my husband left his job to pursue his calling, and it was extremely difficult. It was scary. We had no money. We had no followers. We didn't have, a large organization backing us. And we really just stepped out on faith and did what we believe God was calling us to do. And then fast forward to now. Same thing last year. I left my job in pursuit of what I believe and what I know that God has called me to do. Same thing, not necessarily any supporters or followers or large financial backing to do it, but just stepping out on faith and trusting that I heard God, that He's with me, and that if I submit my plans to Him, they shall be established. So on those days where it gets difficult, where I feel like, this is too much, I want to go back, I think of my purpose. I think of why it is that I'm doing what I'm doing. It's so easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day and just to get caught up in the routine and everything that needs to be accomplished. And sometimes you forget why you set out on this journey in the first place. So for anyone who needs an extra push, I challenge you to think of what is your purpose for doing this, and keep that at the center. There will be days where you're extremely high, you're excited, you experience some wins, and there'll be some days where you face disappointment and failure. But through it all, what remains consistent is your purpose for setting out on that journey in the first place. So consider that. And then along with that, I started a program called Commencement. It is a 5-week online journey, coaching, personal coaching, and development that helps you to identify your purpose, develop a plan, and then learn to pursue it with diligence, with focus, and with excitement. And you are able to accomplish whatever goals you have set out to do. And whether it's starting something new, starting over something that you've started in the past, or if you just need to finish strong, Commencement is the program for you. And you can join now. Classes start at the end of this month, so you can go to my website, patricemeadows.com, and click on Commencement to register today. If I had to give an age of when I knew I wanted to be an educator, I would have to say very, very early. I don't know if I can even identify a specific age. I remember times where I'd be at home and friends would come over, and normally most children, they play house, they have their baby dolls and things like that, but I was always playing school. I absolutely loved being in school. I love learning, and I still do to this day. So I know, thinking back, that very early on I had this seed and this desire for education, but I allowed pressures from society. In our culture, teachers are not very highly esteemed. They're not always compensated like they should be. So that deterred me. Honestly, I decided that I wanted to go into medicine because I really enjoyed helping people. I love to learn. I wanted to study diseases and understand how they worked and impacted people. And that was a lot more prestigious, a lot higher paying as well. So I let the pressures, even though I had this desire, I would say always, to teach and be in education, I just let the pressures from the world and society's expectations lead me astray. But God has a wonderful and amazing way of, if you seek Him, if you ask for His guidance, He will show you the way. So I'm so glad that I was obedient to the call to be in education. So after over a decade of a very exciting some very exciting experiences in education, I'm still here and I'm excited for what lies ahead. What obstacles have I faced on this journey? I mean, where do I even begin? I feel like from the very first time I stepped into a school where I was placed, I started facing obstacles. When I interviewed for positions, I remember a principal just really doubting, looking at me. Back then, I was fresh out of college, 22 years old, and going into teaching high school, and just immediately being doubted. You know, having your supervisor doubt your abilities is a very difficult position to be in, especially when you're doubting yourself at that point. So it was very early on where I feel like I had to overcome people's low expectations of what I'd be able to do, and not thinking that I would survive. I remember my first principal said I wouldn't survive until the end of the school year. It was very disappointing. It was very disheartening, but needless to say, I dug in. I was fully committed. I brought, I think, a passion and just high expectations that even some other staff had lost because they had been in it for a while, or they had just seen a myriad of different things. So I overcame those low expectations of me very early on in my career, and I feel like I'm still doing that now. I'm inexperienced, but yet and still I'm very dedicated. I'm hardworking. I'm passionate. I learn very, very quickly. And, because of this passion, I believe that I will be very successful even in this new endeavor that I embark upon. I'm constantly looking for feedback, looking to grow and to develop, because I understand the impact that my work has on families, on students, and on the community and generations to come. So it's this dedication, this commitment, this relentless pursuit of excellence that has allowed me to overcome those obstacles, continue to overcome those obstacles, and to be successful. One fearless woman that I look up to that has had a huge impact on my life is my mom. I remember growing up, never seeing her take days off of work. I know she took some, but just thinking about, the entire time growing up, I saw her working. I saw her being dedicated. I saw her getting up early, sometimes coming in late, but being fully committed to the work that she was doing. And that definitely has instilled my work ethic. I remember my first 3 years of teaching, I hardly took any days off. And it wasn't, I don't think it was, a bad thing. I just really loved what I was doing. I knew that it was important for you to show up because the work can't get done if you're not there. And I remember having all of these days of leave stacked up, within those first couple years, and having to take time off when I had my daughter. and just really learning to work really hard as long as you can, but then also to enjoy those times and those moments or seasons where you have to take a break and when you have to rest and rejuvenate. But my mom really instilled into me early on the importance of having a strong work ethic, of showing up, being on time, and getting your job done with excellence. I got my first job when I was a preteen, probably 12 or 13. I worked at a camp, and then I got my first real job when I was 15, and I've been working ever since. And I can definitely attribute that to my mom. Other fearless women that I look up to, Michelle Obama. I mean, she absolutely crushed the expectations that others had for her, those low expectations that said that she didn't deserve to be where she was, expectations that said that she wasn't smart enough, she didn't look the part, and she absolutely proved them wrong. She's a trailblazer and pioneer in her own right. So I definitely look up to her with her courage and with her determination to succeed at all costs, and to not be afraid to go first, to be the first, and to set a very high bar. So I know I have a lot of things going on, and I'm very aware that people don't have to support you. So I'm so grateful for the support of everyone, whether it's for my family, or it's for Embassy, my church, Embassy International Worship Center, or for my school, Atlanta Smart Academy. I am so grateful for your support. So you can find me online. I have a book called Side Chicks, Married to the Visionary. It's for every woman, whether you're single, married, divorced. It reiterates your purpose, God's original intent for you as a woman. That's Side Chicks. You can get that on Amazon or through my website, patricemeadows.com. I'm writing another book that is soon to be released. It is the Commencement Manual. So you can also get that online, patricemeadows.com. Pre-orders are now open. And then last but certainly not least, if you have a rising fourth or fifth grader, a current fourth or fifth grader that will be a fifth or sixth grader next year, enrollment is now open for Atlanta Smart Academy. We're using science, math, and the arts to build innovative solutionists. We use project-based learning to teach critical thinking so that your students, your children, are prepared to enter in the fastest growing professions, as well as being successful in college and career. So go to atlantasmartacademy.org. If you don't have children, if you don't know any that are rising fifth and sixth graders, you can donate today. Help us to raise money to secure our new home, as well as to recruit our students and start off strong in August of 2020. You can also go to my website, patricemeadows.com, if you're interested in personal coaching, if you want to purchase one of my books or products. I would love to connect with you and have your support. Thank you.